Welcome back. And moving on to our first segment for today, as we were talking in the beginning about Newsbreak. This is an international website to promote tourism and to just give you the chance to discover Egypt, to find out more about the most important tourism sites. Over the phone, we have Mr. Ihab Kamel, and he's a tourism expert. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. So first of all, would you like to just give us an idea about how far can this help and promote tourism to Egypt?
Well, of course, this kind of website, it's already seen by millions of people worldwide, and it provides not only information or general information about the tourism sites, but also it gives very detailed information so that the traveler would be able to know every single detail about the place he wants to visit. I believe that a site like this and other sites, as tourism promotion had changed dramatically in the past 20 years, I believe that they can be a great added value to tourism, especially the Egyptian tourism, as it enlists several Egyptian tourist attractions in the website, which I believe that it will have a very positive impact on the Egyptian tourism, which we have a very ambitious plan for the next 10 years.
Well, talking about the position of Egypt so far as the ranking number 8 and the variety of the destinations to attract more tourists, from this point, how far can we attract more, or let's say different markets to Egypt as well?
Well, it's not an easy job to attract different markets, because actually we already are working with full capacity. We have to understand that Egypt has got only 215,000 rooms, which by the end of the year will reach 250,000. With the capacity, with the accommodation capacity, with the capacity of the airports, which is a very important issue at the moment. So we can only accommodate between 13 to 14 million travelers. This is our capacity. Besides, taking in consideration our national airlines and the size of their fleet, which is about 170 airplanes, which is, by the way, this is not a very bad number. On the contrary, this is a good number, but not enough still. I think we are doing the best we can. We are using the full capacity of Egypt. According to these numbers, we can accommodate between 13 to 14 million. To accommodate more than that, we need investments. We need investment in accommodation facilities. We need accommodation in airports, increasing the size of the airports and their capacities, making new airports, entering new airports into service to become international airports. And that's how we can attract new markets. Also, the very important point, which is the aviation, how we're going to reach the other markets. So we need our national airlines to invest in buying new planes. And at the moment, this is a difficult challenge because, as you know, after the COVID crisis, lots of manufacturers had slowed down their production, and that includes the aeroplane factories. So all the aeroplane manufacturers, they have requests for aeroplanes, but they could not fulfill. So all the requests they are delayed at the moment. This is a worldwide problem, so it's not only the Egyptian problem. So to attract different markets or to increase the numbers, that is a big challenge that needs lots of investments, which I believe it would be unfair to Egypt to compare Egypt with other markets around us that attracts more numbers, because simply they have more accommodation rooms, more airports. Besides, there's something that we need to work on, which I believe it's not less important. It's the people's culture. People's culture, this is something very important, which I believe that the Ministry of Education should be working on the young children, because I believe that this culture, the culture of the Egyptians about the tourist, has to change. The drama we present on television, it has to change in representing the picture of the tourist, because part of the problem is also the picture that we present for the tourist on the drama and on the screen. It's a very big operation that has different stakeholders, and they all have to work together simultaneously in order to prepare the country for a big number of tourists by 2030, if we are serious about this. And I'm saying that this target is achievable. It's not unachievable, but it needs hard work so that we can achieve.
Sir, talking about Egypt and the variety of its tourism project, let's focus on the competitive advantage of our tourism project.
Well, we have an excellent product, but as I said before, it's a product that has a variety. We have a religious product. We have, for different religions, we have, if we talk about the religious product, we have lots of attracting places and lots of sites that attract of all religions, Muslim, Jewish, Christian. If we're talking about leisure, like recreational travel, we have very competitive, very competitive destinations and sea destinations, which I believe it can work on the winter and summer as well. Cultural tourism, I don't think that there's any country that can compete with Egypt in its cultural tourism. But as I said before, all this is not enough. This needs investments to be and needs services. And tourism, it affects every single part of the country. We're talking about transportation, we're talking about standardization of the laws for hygiene and things like that. And when I'm talking about the sites, not many countries can compete with Egypt. I can give you lots of sites, even in ecotourism. In ecotourism, we have unique sites that would be a big added value to ecotourism. It's enough to tell you that Egypt is the second most destination in the whole world for bird immigration from Europe. So lots of bird watchers would like to come and trace these immigration routes, especially that the Red Sea of Egypt is one of the very few bottlenecks that the immigrating birds have to pass by during their immigration. There are lots of things Egypt has got to offer, but as I said before, these things need investments to be properly used and promoted.
Well, talking about the destinations in Egypt, well, of course, we have something that no one can ever find elsewhere when it comes to historical sites, the places where you can learn more about ancient civilization. And most of these areas actually were under many of the development projects and many different kinds of just to provide more facilities for its visitors, whether we're talking about Luxor, Aswan, all these areas, the Giza Pyramids Plateau, the preparations for the Grand Egyptian Museum that everyone is anticipating to learn more about this place. Tell us more about this part, especially that as we were talking, we can take benefit as well when it comes to the exchange rate. So again, trying to take benefit even from the challenges that we are facing.
Of course, as we said before, not many countries can, or no country can compete with Egypt when it comes to culture, tourism, or to ancient heritage, like in Luxor or Aswan, or when we're talking about building the biggest museum in the world, like the Grand Egyptian Museum. I'm sure that there will be lots of attraction. Also, Egypt can be a big attraction because Egypt is considered the cheapest tourism destination at the moment, or the second cheapest. The cheapest is Iran, I think. Then comes Egypt because of the exchange rate at the moment, which can attract lots of travelers and can make Egypt a very attractive destination. But I don't like really that we would depend that the exchange rate in Egypt for the Egyptian pound is low, or that the Egyptian pound is devalued, because this is something that we cannot depend on for long. If the economy picks up, then definitely the value of the currency, it will go up. But what I think is that we would develop the product giving a good value for what the traveler is paying. This is what we should be working on. I believe that the Department of Antiquities, or the government represented in the Department of Antiquities, have done a great job with the archaeological sites. You go now, you'll see that there's lots of development, there's lots of restoration work taking place everywhere, actually. Either in the Pharaonic sites or Islamic sites or Christian sites. Really, I've seen a great development throughout the past 20 or 30 years. But I believe that we need also not only to focus on these sites or on the classical sites, as we say, because at the end of the day, they have a limited capacity, but we have also another product which I believe that Egypt can provide a lot through that product, which is the desert safari and the desert tourism. We have beautiful sites in the desert that would attract lots of adventurers and desert tourists, like the White Desert in Bahariya Oasis, which is a unique site. Like the Black Desert, also in Bahariya Oasis, like the Great Sand Sea in Siwa, and of course we have the major site, which is the Gulf Hills between Egypt, Libya, and Sudan, with its famous cave that dates back to the prehistorical periods, with the drawings, the prehistorical drawings in those caves. And I believe that this area was unknown in Egypt until the famous movie, The English Patient, was shot over there, and that made a great promotion for this area, and lots of tourists used to go there. I believe that the Egyptian product in tourism has a great variety. All what it needs is just investments to improve the services and improve the capacity of the Egyptian airports, hotels, And I believe that we need more investment in infrastructure.
Right, Mr. Ihab Kamel, a tourism expert, thank you very much for joining us. And right now, moving on to a quick break, then we'll be back.
القوات الإسرائيلية تواصل مطاردة مئات
الدخان الأسود الكثيف المتصاعد من كل جانب. قبل لحظات كنا نتابعه لعله جرى